If you're looking to knock 5 books off of your TBR in March, join us over at the Keymark Discord for a readathon for that month. If that's all you need, you'll find the link in the description below. If you want more details, stay tuned for the rest of the video. Hi everyone, my name is Kayla and welcome back to Kay's Hidden Shelf, where we talk about books. Today we're going to be talking about the Keymark Discord's Readathon. This has been happening over the last few years, and this time around it is going to be called the March Mavericks Readathon, where we focus on reading 5 books within the readathon, trying to knock off some unread books from our ever-growing TBR piles. Now this time around we've also got 4 new team captains, including all authors: Rob J. Hayes, Andy Peliquin, Shauna Lawless, and A.R. Witham. For those who don't know, I'm a mod over at the Discord. I will be helping out with the readathon, but I'll also be participating as a reader. I hope you join us as well. This will be happening from March 1st, 12 a.m. EST, and ends on April 1st, 12 a.m. EST. We put the time zone to make it a clean cut and date and time for submission of points. If you are new to Discord, if you're uncertain about Discord, please give it a try. If you have any questions or concerns, pop them down in the comments below. I will be happy to help you try and figure it out if you're new to it or in navigating it. It can be overwhelming. I'm not going to gloss over that. If you're not used to Discord and how it functions, it can be a lot, but we are happy to help you get settled, happy answer any questions that you might have. So I highly recommend just giving it a try. We're friendly folks. We'll help you if you need it. Since the readathon starts on March 1st, I highly recommend joining us, signing up as quickly as you can. If you see this a bit late by 1 or 2 days in March, it shouldn't be a problem. We'll do our best to assign you to a team, but anything outside of that is probably going to be a little bit difficult to jump you onto a team, let's say in the middle of March, for example. So the quicker you can sign up, the better. Teams will be assigned on February 28th, and at that point, you'll have your own individual teams channel in order to chat with your team, build up that team spirit, and cheer each other on as you try to read books off of your TBR. As for the rules of this readathon, it is a max 5-book readathon. We know everyone reads different numbers, amounts of books, and we wanted this to be a readathon more centered around reading at least 5 books if you can. If you can't, that's perfectly fine too. The main focus of the readathon is to help you knock books off of your TBR, make some new bookish friends, and gain points for your team as best as you can. As for the point system and how that works, you get a point for each book that you complete. With this being a max of 5 books, that is 5 points that you can get for simply completing a read. Now, there are bonus points that you can get for a max of 12 points for each of you, so maximize those points if you can. For example, you can get a bonus point for reading an indie book as part of one of the prompts. We'll go through those in a second. You can also gain a point for reviewing your reads. So if you leave a review on Amazon, Goodreads, or Storygraph, you can gain an extra point for each book that you read. In terms of genre, we highly encourage SFF, so sci-fi fantasy, but if you have a book that fits any of the prompts that we have in another genre, that's fine. It will count. We want this to be accessible. We want you guys to knock books off of your TBR as best as you can. But just keep in mind that the Keymark Readathon, the Keymark Discord, is more centered around SFF. Now, in order for a book that you're reading to count, it must be a minimum of 200 pages as per Goodreads. So we are using Goodreads as the rule here, the guideline, because it's pretty standard and it does need to be that minimum of 200 pages. So if you're looking at a novella that's 100 pages, unfortunately, it will not count towards your points as a part of the readathon. You can still read it, just won't count, unfortunately, for this readathon. Since the goal here is to knock books off of your TBR, no rereads are going to be counted towards this readathon. The focus here is to help you knock unread books, new books, things that you have not read off of your list, so rereads will be not counted towards the readathon in terms of points. As for the prompt that calls for an indie book, as well as the bonus point that goes with it, there is a distinction we want to make here. If you're looking at a book that was once independently published, self-published, but is no longer, it is now traditionally published. If it is currently traditionally published, it does not count for the indie prompt or bonus point that goes with it. So do keep that in mind when you are selecting your TBR. There's also a distinction I want to make here as well. If you are currently reading a book and you are trying to finish it before February, but don't, let's say you finish it March 1st, for example, it will not count towards your points in the readathon. We are looking at books that you have read within the month of March. So if you started it in February, it will not count towards the readathon points if you finish it in March. So do keep that in mind and try a plan accordingly if you can. Let's look at the prompts because there are 10 prompts. I know it's a 5-book max readathon, but in order to make this accessible, we tried to make the prompts varied, a bit general and open, basically. And we give an extra 5 prompts to make this a bit easier for all of you. Now, I'm going to read out the prompts here, but I'm also going to share some images that we put together, the mods and I have put together, of book recommendations that we have for everyone based on each prompt. If you are stuck or unsure of what to read for the readathon, we've got you. So the first prompt here is Maverick, an independently published book. Disruptor, a weapon on the cover, includes dragons and spaceships, for example. Rebel, hero or heroine on the cover. Swindler, contains a rogue. Chaos includes magic as part of the story. Outlander takes place in another world. Renegades features a motley crew. Skullduggery features political intrigue. Sanctuary includes found family as a theme. And Shadow includes an animal companion. And that pretty well covers it from the prompts, the rules. We do have a secret rule coming very soon before the readathon known as the ringer rule. So if you read in double digits, this might be of interest to you. So come join the Discord. Stay tuned for an update on that. But that's your introduction to the team captains that you might have over the course of this readathon. If you have any questions, by all means, pop them in the comments below. I'd love to be able to help answer any questions you might have. If you would love to join us, we would love to have you. Please, please, please click that link. Join us for the readathon. Have a good time. Read some good books in great company. That's what matters most. And I mean, getting points for your team too. That counts as well. I, for one, look forward to helping out with the readathon in the back scenes, but also participating on a team. I've got my TBR set, although it might change depending on my mood because there's so many good books to read. I look forward to reading with all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care of yourselves.